Welcome everybody to this week's episode of Ant on Music. I am your humble host Ant, and we are well into the new year. If you're catching this, you survived January. How about that? Especially if you're here in the good old US of A. Got a lot of stuff to look at this week. Got our first new box set of the new year. And we're going to get into that. It's a band I've never talked about either. We got a couple of re-releases, a couple of new things, some interesting stuff, some colored vinyls, some discs. As always, I always ask you very humbly, very nicely, if you're new here, click that subscribe button. I appreciate it. Drop a comment. Give a thumbs up. It's not going to cost you anything. It's free. What's better than that? So, this week we had another tragic passing. Marian Faithfull passed away. Longtime associate of the Rolling Stones and a star in her own right. May she rest in peace. Other than that, pretty solid week. Can't really complain. Steven Wilson. Tickets went on sale for the U.S. leg, or I should say the North American leg, of the Overview tour. Were you lucky enough? Did you get your tickets? I did. I'm going to be heading to see Mr. Steven Wilson at the Capitol Theater in Port Chester at the end of September, and I don't want to rush the year, but I literally cannot wait. Last time I saw Steven was back in 2018, right around Christmas time, at the Capitol Theater in Port Chester, and he's going to be bringing out a fantastic band, a couple of New Yorkers in there. You're going to have on there Adam Holzman, as well as Randy McStein. So it should be a stunning concert. He's also got that maniac, one of my favorite people on the planet to see play on bass, Nick Beggs, as well as Craig Blundell on drums. Really can't go wrong there. So it's going to be a pretty cool night. So let's hop into the music. Let's get to it. Let's not waste any more time. First thing that I want to talk about. Reissue campaign is being moving on, all right? Steely Dan, Katie Lied. What a great album this is. You have Mike McDonald on this, the king, the unofficial king of yacht rock. I really hate that freaking term. To me, this is like more, and I've said this before. This stuff is more jazz-oriented rock. You want to put it there, fine. This is the back of the album. As you can see, Mr. McDonald is right here. And of course, you got Walter and Donald. You also got Denny Diaz in there, as well as Jeff Beccaro. Yes, Jeff Beccaro of Toto fame, and Gary Katz. This has got a great track listing. Black Friday, the title track, Dr. Wu, Bad Sneakers, Rose Darling, Daddy Don't Live in That New York City No More, Dr. Wu, Everyone's Gone to the Movies, Your Gold Teeth #2, Chain Lightning, Any World That I'm Welcome To, and Throwback the Little Ones. If you're unfamiliar with Steely Dan, there's hardly an album that you can't pick up on its own as almost like a greatest hits package. They're all so well recorded, and the songs are so well crafted that almost any album by Steely Dan you could pick up and it plays like a greatest hits album, Katie Lied included. This is, as far as the album goes, you get the lyrics inside. All the liner notes are here on the back sleeve. So all the info regarding the album, you can pick it up in the record store, take a look, and read all about it. It's right there. It's a basic black album, so really nothing to see there. But there it is. It's got the combo, Geffen / ABC Records sticker there, label on the center, so it mimics it's being released by Geffen, and the sleeve itself is very nice, very heavy duty, but what's important is the music. And like I said, I'm a huge Steely Dan fan, have been pretty much since college, when a good friend of mine introduced me to him, and I've never stopped listening since. So Katie Lied, another one in the re-release pile. All right, first time on vinyl, and that makes me very, very happy. Rhino Records has really come to be one of the premier re-release specialists. That as far as like archival stuff goes, they've really come a long way, and they do a great job with the packaging and presenting of some really wonderful albums. And of course, this is under their category of their SYEOR stuff, which stands for Start Your Ear Off Right. And this is the first time pressing of this album, right? Beyond Good and Evil, with Matt Sorum on drums, Billy Duffy on guitars, and the wonderful Mr. Ian Astbury on vocals. And, it's cool. Take a look at the album itself. And it's three-sided with an etch of the cover on the fourth side. We'll show you all that. Got a good track listing on this. It starts off with War, The Process, The Saint, Rise, which is a great song. Take the Power, Breathe, Nico, American Gothic, which I dig, Ashes and Ghosts, another good song. Shape the Sky, Speed of Light, True Believers, and My Bridges Burn. And like I said, first time on vinyl. Happy to add it to my cult collection. I'm a huge Cult fan. I think one day I'm going to do a whole episode on just the Cult. I was lucky to see them live. I've talked about it, I'm pretty sure, on one of the older episodes. Some things don't need to be repeated. And this comes in a 2-colored vinyl set. You've got the red side right here, red disc 1, and then you also have what they call Coke Bottle Clear, all right, green. So it kind of looks like the, Coke bottles when they're emptied out. We'll grab that for you. And as you see there, and then it's hard to see, but we'll try and get that in the light just right for you. You can see that you have the cover etched on side 4 of the 2-album set. So it's very neat. Glad to have this one in the collection. Getting one step closer to getting every Cure album on vinyl. There's one or two out there that I still haven't hunted down, or as people like to say, and I hate the phrase, found in the wild. It's not the wild. You're not going out in the forest. You're in a record store or, some sort of record release place, like a record ride or a flea market or whatever. So you've got your lyrics right there and your liner notes. Very cool. Start your ear off right with the Cult, Beyond Good and Evil. All right. Next up, this is an interesting release. Okay. So I'm a big Thin Lizzy fan. Yes, love Thin Lizzy, always have. And they've re-released their stuff multiple times, and it always seems like there's something being re-released by Lizzy, but nothing really new. There's not much new stuff. How can it be? Well, unfortunately, Phil is gone. Other members of the band have passed on as well. Last week we were just talking about John Sykes passing on. But this, I'll show you the hype sticker on this one. Thin Lizzy acoustic sessions, right? Pretty neat. So the way this album came about is they took original vocals from Phil Lynott, and original guitarist Eric Bell came in and basically added acoustic guitar. Has the first time ever Whiskey in the Jar on as an acoustic tune. So let's take a look at that. And they did it almost as if it's a graphic novel or a comic book. And I think Phil would be very proud of the way this came out. It's great to hear the songs in this and the versions that they're in, and it's a decent length album. It's 9 tracks long. You've got Mama Nature Said, A Song for Along the Way, which I really dig the version of it on here. Irie, Slow Blues by E.B. Dublin, Whiskey in the Jar kicks off side 2. Here I Go Again. Shades of a Blue Orphanage, title track from the first album, and Remembering Part 2. And this is also on clear vinyl. And they continued with the comic book or comic strip theme, I should say, right there. Showing various art versions of the tracks. And on the back you have the liner notes of the album. And as I said, it's on clear vinyl. Crystal clear vinyl, as I always say, the DJ's nightmare. Try queuing up something that's not the first track on the album. Unless nowadays, as we mellow out and listen to everything in the order that it is presented. No more skipping around. I got to worry about those days anymore. Not that radio DJs or anything like that use vinyl anymore. It's more of a hobby. A cool hobby to have. So Thin Lizzy acoustic sessions. If you're a Lizzy enthusiast, definitely you need this in your collection. Talking to you, my buddy Don Adams. If you're a casual fan, give it a listen. It's really, really cool. So, Thin Lizzy acoustic sessions. Now, we've got not one, not two, but three live albums. All right, one of them having two configurations, and we'll start off with that. And that is one of my favorite bands of the new century, new millennia. That is Riverside, Polish band Riverside. If you're unfamiliar with them and you're into prog music, check them out. Even if you're not into prog music, they have some pretty, the last album Identity wasn't as heavy as they have been, but they have some pretty heavy stuff out there. And they have a love of both heavy metal and progressive rock, and they married those two together, and it's more on the progressive rock side. They are led by Marius Duda, who also is the main man that is Lunatic Soul, and he's also released stuff on his own. He's worked with Steven Wilson and on and on and on. And here's the hype sticker. This is their new live one, and as you can see here, it is on limited lilac vinyl. That seems to be one of the popular colors that's coming out. Here is the album itself. It is triple vinyl, all right, and it showcases their last album, Identity, and this is called Live ID. I got to see this tour live in New York City back in 2023, and it was unbelievable. As I've told anybody that I've spoken to about them and seeing them live, fantastic, killer musicians all the way around. They bring joy, when they play, and there's nobody more joyful than their keyboard player, Michael Lepage. I was maybe 10 feet from him at the front of the stage, and I mean, the dude had a permanent smile on all night. He is an amazing musician, a great entertainer, and he looks like he'd probably be a complete joy to hang around with. So this comes in a gatefold, all right? It also comes with a booklet. We'll take a look at that. So here's the front of the album, as I showed you before. Here is the back with the track listing there. If you notice, there's not a lot of tracks. If you noticed, that's a long-ass track. I love the long-ass tracks. And you also got some photos on the gatefold right here. All right. And take a look at one of the slabs of vinyl. Actually, no, so we'll take a look at one of the slabs of vinyl. This doesn't have inner sleeves that have anything on them because you got the booklet. But this is a beautiful, beautiful lilac vinyl with the label mimicking the album cover right there. And, it's a good majority of the set is the Identity album live, which is great. It's not whole and entire, but most of it is here. And on it, start off with hashtag Addicted. You got Panic Room, which I love. Landmine Blast. Big Tech Brother, which is perfect for the world we live in. Lost, Left Out, Post-Truth. The long-ass tracks, as I said before. The Place Where I Belong. Egoist, Hedonist. Friend or Foe, which was the first single. Definitely on the poppy end for them, but still awesome. Self-Aware and Concerning You. And we'll take a look at the booklet, give you an idea of what the live show is like for them. I saw them in a very intimate setting at Sony Hall in Manhattan, and it was really wonderful. It's like great acoustics, excellent musicianship, great light show, zero complaints, totally satisfied. That didn't cost like $1 billion to go. So that is the booklet that goes along with that. You really get a true sense of what the band is like live from this release. And also, the cool thing about this is, I got it also as the CD and Blu-ray combo. All right, I've only watched one video, which was available on YouTube for Landmine Blast. But I am looking forward to digging into the Blu-ray and checking that out whole and entire. I was kind of intending to do that today. My best man, my buddy from high school, came up and spent the day with me, which was awesome. And I was like a big kid. He hadn't been to my house in 1,000 years, showing him a ton of music stuff. So that was fun. But I never got around to watching this, so I'm gonna blame him. But we will get to that probably tomorrow. So same track listing, and the additional on here is that you get a behind-the-scenes documentary on the DVD. So you get it, you know, Spo would say sound and vision. So that's that. Next up, all right, Mr. Steve Hackett. All right, and this is a cool release. We'll show you both of the hype stickers right there. And once again, Lilac vinyl, Inside Out Records. I wonder what's going on. And this is cool because with this is a very intimate show. It's an acoustic show, mostly instrumental. You got Roger King on keys. You've got John Hackett also playing with Steve. And the only vocals are towards the end of the album. Female vocalist. And her name escapes me, but I'll find it out for you in 2 seconds. That would be Amanda Lehman. And you also got Rob Townsend on flute. And that covers the entire band, and John Hackett on flute. So here is the album cover itself. Steve Hackett, Live Magic at Trading Boundaries. And the cool thing about this is it has excerpts from Genesis and has a ton of stuff across Steve's catalog. And it's all acoustic. And Steve, you know, as much as he's a phenomenal guitarist, period, the stuff that he does acoustically in many instances is absolutely mind-blowing. I'm a big fan of his version of Blood on the Rooftops, which is they do an excerpt of it here. Let me show you this. This is the inner insert, I should say. And, you know, I'll go through the track listing after we show you this beautiful slab of vinyl. It's a double vinyl set. Once again, just like the Riverside. Beautiful lilac vinyl. Gorgeous. And this starts off with an intro by Steve, then goes into the aforementioned Blood on the Rooftops. Also here we have The Barren Land, Blacklight, Horizons, Jacuzzi, Supper's Ready, an excerpt from the Genesis classic Supper's Ready. After the Ordeal, Hairless Heart, another Genesis classic. Jazz on a Summer's Night, Nassim #1, Walking Away from Rainbows, Pauline Organ Concerto excerpt, The Red Flower of Tai Chi Blooms Everywhere, Hands of the Priestess, Memory Lane, Only Happy When It Rains, and then a really cool version of Ace of Wands, which was originally a monster piece, electric. For him to break it down acoustically is just wonderful, and it finishes off with The Journey. And Steve even gets some insight into the songs on that insert. You know, and this is also on Inside Out Records. You know, definitely worth checking out. I mean, like, you know, at this point, if you haven't heard of Steve Hackett and you're watching my show, you're not paying attention. So that's that. Before we get into the last thing, all right, it was really cool because I you know, one of the orders came through from K-Scope, and they were nice enough to include this little guy. Right, it's a little K-Scope sampler. And on it, it has a whole bunch of stuff, most of which I actually already own the albums on. Tim Bonus, Films of Our Youth, which I have the album. Pineapple Tree, From It All Leads to This. Radicant, Elo Reanimate, Trifecta, I've talked about that album. That's great with Mr. Nick Beggs. Blackfield and the Stephen Wilson Project. Tim Bonus again, from Powder Dry. Gleb Kolyadin, who is a Russian pianist and part of I Am the Morning. Tesseract, Marius Duda from Riverside. Godsticks, Bruce Sword from the Pineapple Thief. Gong, you know, the French prog band, blah, blah, blah. And Storm Corrosion, Stephen Wilson and Michael Ockerfeldt's album, which celebrated an anniversary last year with Drag Ropes, the single from that. So that was kind of cool for them to just throw that in. Always nice to get something for free. Never can complain. So now we're going to touch upon a band that I've never spoken about. I got into these guys about 1.5 years ago, and it's like, you know, when you go down a rabbit hole and you're just like, you know, I heard about these guys years ago, and I used to see records up in the local record store, and I saw the name, and I says, what a freaking stupid name. Absolutely idiotic. Who the hell listens to this crap? So then one day I said, you know something, you got to get over yourself. You got to try new things. You've got to listen to different stuff. So, you know, I pulled them up on Amazon Music, all right, and started listening. I says, wow, this is kind of interesting. Then I listened to something else by them. I was like, this is kind of interesting too. Who the frig are these guys? Band I'm talking about's from Australia. All right. They're labeled as psychedelic rock. There's elements of thrash, there's elements of folk, there's elements of EDM, elements of classic rock, elements of jazz, elements of fusion, and the list goes on. And they are like, I guess the best way to put it, picking up one of their albums is like, Forrest Gump said in the movie Forrest Gump, life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. And that's these guys. Talking about King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. Yes, I didn't stutter. I said King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. And this is their latest, all right? This is the King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard box set, all right, from their nights that they played at Forest Hill Stadium in Queens, New York, back last summer. Now, the interesting thing about King Gizzard is this. They've only been around since, I want to say, 2012, 2013. And if you own everything by them, I hail you. They put out a ton of stuff, a ton of live product, multiple box sets. They have their official bootleg collection, which this is part of. All right. So, you have the box, and this thing is wonderful. I almost don't want to show you the hype sticker to take away from the vinyl themselves, but it has 49 tracks. It's a hand-numbered box. There's only 1,000 of these made. It's got custom photo sleeves. Includes a poster and a double-sided poster and a foil sticker. I'll show you the small hype sticker for now. And all of the albums there's 8 LPs in the set. All splatter vinyl. Looks amazing. All right. And these guys are out of their friggin' mind. So that's them playing on stage at Forest Hill Stadium out in Queens, New York. And here is like Polaroids of the band playing out there at Forest Hill Stadium. And I remember they came to New York last year, and I was kind of like on the fence of should I go, should I not go. Didn't get anybody that wanted to go with me, so I didn't go because I want to travel out to Forest Hills, by myself. So didn't go. And on one hand, I regret not going. On the other hand, I'm happy that this came out as a bootleg box set. Here's the foil sticker that goes along with it. And let's take a look at the albums. We'll take a look at each of them because it's so freaking cool. So here you go. This is album 1, and on this you have Field of Vision, Daily Blues, Cutthroat Boogie, Gamma Knife, and then on side B, People Vultures, Mr. Beat, and Boogeyman Sam. And there you go on the back, live picture. There's Stu McKenzie. He's basically the leader of the band. And look at this. Check out the functifiedness of that slab of vinyl. How cool is that? It's almost got like the hypnotic eye in the middle. Very, very cool looking vinyl. So that's album 1 in this 8 album set. Then you've got album 2, all right, and this is over 2 nights. Work This Time, I'm in Your Mind, I'm Not in Your Mind, Cellophane, and I'm in Your Mind Fuzz, which is obviously all from the album I'm in Your Mind Fuzz. This thing, Self-Immolate, and Organ Farmer. So that's that. Take a look at this one. Got a little variance in color there. Got a little funky pink thing going on. And, I have a clear platter on my turntable that I have a little light underneath, and, sit around and trip out a little bit listening to the psychedelic madness of King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. We have album 3, and this has on it Venusian 2, Gila Monster, Flamethrower, Straws in the Wind, Plura, and All Is Known. Yeah, these, I'll tell you, man, they put out a really cool quality product, and they sound great. I've never been disappointed in anything they've put out. Like anybody's catalog, there's stuff that you love in it, stuff you don't love in it. Some things, become pets. But live, they always bring it. You know, and it's like I have a bunch of live albums. One day we're going to do a whole King Gizzard thing, but it'll probably take like a half an hour to an hour just to do their stuff. Even with me speaking a million miles a minute. This has Doom City, Nuclear Fusion, Rattlesnake, and then KGLW, King Gizzard Lizard Wizard. Yeah, these are pretty cool. You know, I mean, you look. I mean, everything just so well done. And some of the tracks are quite proggy in length. Here you got Hot Water, Robot Soup, Ice 5, and The Bitter Boogie. And look at that. Some pretty cool pinks and blues in there with that black on clear vinyl. You know, they did, like I said, awesome job on the on presentation. You can't be disappointed with that. Number 6, and this is some collection. It's pretty awesome. And this we have Antarctica, Raw Feel, You Can Be Your Silhouette, Le Risque, Hot Wax, Planet B, Converge, and Witchcraft. And now we got some orange and black and green. Can you tell I dig these guys? It's just like, it's made for vinyl junkies. I'm convinced of it. Dragon, the Chain of Being, Motor Spirit, and Slow Jam. Some purple and green in there. And then, last but not least, album 8 in this monster set. Now you've got the Lizard chilling out. Billabong Valley, Automation, Digital Black, Hantumi, The Confused Cyborg, Soy Protein Munt Machine, Vomit Coffin. Yes, I said Vomit Coffin. Murder of the Universe, and Am I in Heaven? Some blue, some orange, and black on clear vinyl. Very neat. If you're a King Gizzard fan, you're going to love this. It is pretty freaking awesome. So that is everything, and that's quite a bit that I have to show you this week. I want to thank you all for tuning in the channel. By all means, click that subscribe button, share it with your friends, let them know, hey, this is old goat that talks about music every week, and let them know how cool it is to that I'm still discovering new stuff. You know, these young bucks from Australia kicking out the jams, and it's very metallic in places, it's very hard, it's very punky in places. It's neat stuff. Lots of good stuff this week. Looking forward to seeing everyone next week when I come back with more new stuff or cool stuff, whatever I'm going to dig through between now and then. Thank you all for checking out the channel. Appreciate your time. Appreciate your time spent with me. And as I always say, peace, one love, music. I'm out.